giving a opportunity to start our online counseling session or online counseling classes sitting in your home. You can our teaching learning process also goes on. So I welcome to Ramesh sir. So now
Yes.
I am handed over the session to Ramesh sir. He will start presenting today's class. I welcome once again to Ramesh sir. Sir, go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Welcome, all of you learners. Then we have left out the human rights of the Dalits and minorities and disability. So we shall sum up the human rights which is caused to the minority. What are the causes in which the human rights are violated of Dalits and minorities and disabled. Okay, am I audible? ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି? So Dalit, the
हाँ सर।
okay, okay, the Dalit, the very word, it is a Marathi word. It means broken. And in the 19th century, one of the great social worker, pioneer of the Dalit movements, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, has used the words Dalits. And as you know, the Dalits are in our Hindu concept, they are called as Sudras. In the ancient Hindus, they are called the Sudras. Sudras means, as you know, that some of the superstitions which was prevailed in the society, that as they were born from the feet of the Brahma, they were called Sudra, and the Brahmanas were born from the mouth, so they were called Brahmins. Brahma, they were born out of the born from the mouth of the Brahma, so they were born. Those who are born from the arms of the Brahma is called warriors or Kshatriya, and they are Sudras. Sudras means most of the Sudras, they are called what our father of nation called them Harijan. Some of them they Chandalas, and some of the lower caste like Chamar and other Kobalars. Chamar means Kobalars, or we say Gandas, the Pano. All these are caste belong to the scheduled caste. And as our 1991 census, there are 16% above than 16% are the scheduled caste. There has been a census uh, made by the government of India, and the ST people, they are very marginal population of India, about 10%, 8 to 10%. So for centuries or for the science since time immemorial, the SC people, the lower caste people, they were the untouchable class. The higher classes, the persons belonging to the higher caste, like Brahmin, Kshatriya, they do not touch the body of the Dalits or the Dalits or scheduled caste. The ST people, the scheduled tribes people are also Dalits, but some of the scheduled tribes, they are not taken as the scheduled as the untouchable class, but the almost all scheduled caste people, almost all, not all, but almost all scheduled caste people, they are untouchable class. So it was a very ugly scenario found in the found in our caste system. Ugly scenario, a very dirty thing we have been adopting since time immemorial for centuries. From the days of since the days of Ramayana, Mahabharata, and till today it is prevalent. In spite of the so many awareness undertaken by the public of India, government of India, the social sectors of India, but still it is found to be seen in the most particularly rural areas. So, for the first time after the independence, before the independence, the untouchability was not an offense. It was no legislation was passed either of the English people or of the Indian people to eradicate the evil like the untouchability. It is a social evil. It is also the violation of the human rights. If a person will not be touched, if he will not be allowed to public place, if he is not allowed to any funeral ceremony, if he is not to allowed to public ghats, public roads, so it is a very no country in the world, no country has such type of evil, social evil in their societies. So the caste system, so the very intention of the caste system was the division of labor, but with the passage of the time, some of the superior classes like Brahmins, they have they have to they have started exploiting the Dalits people or the Sudras people. So for the first time, the act, the National Act, that is the Untouchability Act, prevention of the untouchability in 1955. For the first time, the Parliament made a legislation. Thereafter, in 1976, it was uh, social, it was Civil Rights Acts. After the 1955, in 1976, it was renamed as the Protection of Civil Rights Act 1976. The Untouchability Act, it was renamed as the Protection of Civil Rights Act, Prevention Atrocities Act. So the scheduled tribes, that means the tribes, those who are not touched of any the modernity, they are deprived of the facilities. They are far away from the public view. They reside in jungles, hills areas. They are not developed. They are not so advanced in their look, social look, and for reservation of the so many acts has been given for the reservation of the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, and under clause 4A of this article, reservation in matters of promotion, and article 355 provides that reservation provision shall be made taking into consideration efficiency of administration, empowers the state to make special provisions for advancement of economically backward classes and for the SC/ST people. So the state to reserve seats for SC/ST in educational institutions, including technical and engineering and medical college. So you know that under Article 4 subclause, under clause 4 of this article, reservation is a matter of right, and 355 has given ample opportunity to the state or the government to adopt measures for the advancement of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe people and making reservation for them in the various educational institutions, including the technical education like engineering, medical, and other technical institutions. So, to give effect of Article 16 and 15 for the Government of India, for subclause 4 of the Article 15, whatever I have said, that the rights of the Dalits, SC, ST people, it is prescribed in Section 4, Clause, Article 15, subclause 4 of the Indian Constitution. You got my point? Article 15, subclause 4 has prescribed the rights of the SC and ST people, and Article 355 has enshrined or has given that the governments are to take special measures for the reservation of the seats of the in the various educational institutions and reservation of this post in the promotion. So it was not permanent. Earlier, the intention of the legislature that it was for 10 years to uplift the downtrodden people like SC and ST, to advance their social status, to make them equal with others. They are the very weaker section of the society. You know, the Dalits, they are allowed to remain in the outside of the village. They do not live within the village. They always, you can found that the Harijans Basti must be in the outside of the village. And their main job was to serve the other peoples like Brahmin, Kshatriya, and Vaishya. You know, Brahmins were the superior class, the Kshatriya the warrior class, Vaishyas are the traders, are the commercial class, and Shudras are the service holder of all three classes. And they were doing they were in charge of cleaning the excreta or the feces of the human being. Normally in the rural area, there was no provision of latrine, toilets. The people used to go outside for their toilets. And these peoples, these Sudras people or the SC people normally, like Harijans people, they are employed to clean the excreta of human being. Open latrine, which is termed as open latrine. And with a minimum wages, very nominal, they were given the very nominal wages. They were doing the everything for rendering service to the other three classes. But they were given the nominal charge for that. And what was the nominal charge? They were asking for food from the houses. And people used to give them foods for their service. So it was a very dismal position, very unfortunate position in the ancient India and in the modern India. For that reason, to uplift the weaker section, the intention of the legislation that if we extend 10 years or 20 years, then they will equal themselves in the streamline of this. They will streamline in the society. But in spite of the measures in spite of the provisions made by the government of India, there was no so notable development in their social status. Their social strata is very poor till now, because they are being used, and some of the persons, those who are developed, they do not think or they do not care of for their own people. So as I said, Untouchability Offences Act 1955, thereafter the Civil Rights Act 1976. The Prevention of Untouchability Act 1955 was passed. Thereafter in 1976 there has been a amendment, and that is called the Civil Rights Act 1976. So the act defines the following forms of discrimination and discriminatory by high caste against the lower caste is violation of the civil rights. Form of illegal discrimination, denial of access to temples. What are the illegal discrimination are being made against them? The one is denial of access of temple, denial of access of tea shops, hotels, restaurants, denial of access of drinking water, denial of barber services, denial of services by the dhobi, denial of access of the village chowfal, माने गाँव लोक मैंने जो चौपल था बा चौभुजी जाहु कहती, but the public place in which they used to gather and they discuss, सेठारे समाने बसी परिबे नहीं. Discrimination in the use of utensils keep in public place. Public place जो utensil use होची भोजी भातरे समाने से utensil रे खाई परिबे नहीं. So prevention of from carrying any occupation, कौन सी प्रकार समाने माने इटा करि परिबे नहीं. ताकर मेन काम हैला खाली लोकंकर सेवा करिबा, लोकंकर महिला सफा करिबा एवं तांकू abusive language रे गाली गुलोच करिबा. They are always rebuked with abusive language. Denials of use of jewelry, samana jewelry पिंधि परिबे नहीं. No non-supply of goods from general shops, samana दुकान रो हाट बाजार करि परिबे नहीं. जदि करिबे समाना गुटे 10 फुट दूर रे थाई समाना कहिबे. एवं the people used to scold them, used to rebuke them with the very abusive word, filthy language, which is the main point of violation of the human rights. So to prevent such type of human rights of the downtrodden people like SC and ST, there has been a special act that is called the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989. 1989 रे एई आइनटा आसिला to prevent the atrocities against them. So that is what are the preventions? Forcing or Dalits or tribal to drink to any inedible or obnoxious substance. कौनसी दलित को कौनसी obnoxious बा जोटा अखाद्य जदि जिनिस खाइबा को दिया जाए, तांकु जदि dumping excretion waste matter carcasses in premises of तांकु जदि कहा जाए जगन बाध्य करा जाए जे कोनोसी मला जीव मला जंतु बा अन्य कोनोसी the carcasses or the feces of the human beings, the dirty things, excreta like human beings, तांकु जदि dumping करबा पई कहा जाए. wrongful disposition of land, तांकु जदि जमी तांकर निजर जमीरु तांकु जदि बेदखल करा जाए. Forcing, intimidating SC and ST not to vote, जदि कौनसी दलित लोगों को बाध्य करा जाए मते भोट देबा पई, किंबा अन्य को भोट न देवा पाए, instituting false, malicious, vexatious criminals or other legal proceedings, giving false and frivolous information any public servant. So many provisions have been incorporated preventing the atrocities against the Dalits. That is called, you must remember, that is Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989. And another act was passed, that is Manual Scavengers and Construction of Dry Latrine Act 1993. 1993 another act was came into force, that is Manual Scavengers and Construction of Dry Latrine Prohibition Act 1993. Manual Scavengers माने जो माने से लोकंकर एस्क्रेटा किंबा कार्कासस जो माने सफा कर दे माने सफा कर देले से प्रकार कामरू ताको निवृत्त रखिबा. Manual scavengers and construction माने there was an open latrine. Before there was two types of toilets. Now we are seeing that is one was the open latrine and another is the water shield latrine. Water shield latrine के समान कर दरकार नहीं, जोड़ा के फ्लश है टॉयलेट को पड़े जाए, टैंक को पड़े जाए. किंतु ओपन लेट्रिन आगे जिते बले वाटर सील्ड लेट्रिन नथिला समाने ओपन लेट्रिन माने समाने से they will go into the latrine tank, they will bring out the dirty things or excreta of the human being, and they used to dump out these things. Am I understood? बुझे हो जी तो? So these types of dirty acts were being done by the Dalit peoples or SC people like Pano, Chandala, Horijan, whatever you may call. Their sole duty is to use such type of duties like cleaning the excreta, cleaning the open toilet. So to prevent such type of acts, ugly, such type of atrocities against them, and to ensure their human rights. You see, the human rights is as natural rights. Nobody has framed the human rights, but the God has framed the human rights, because he has not discriminated on the basis of the caste, religion, and creed, color. He has not discriminated. If God has not discriminated the human being, having the same flesh, blood, and bones, so who we are to discriminate the people on the basis of their caste, religion, and creed, color, birthplace? We have no right. We have no right. But due to superstitions, due to advantages, due to form the advantageous position of the superior castes, we people and unscrupulous people, they have made such type of law on the basis of law. They have made such type of rules or regulations against the Dalits. So they are very depressed and suppressed class, and due to such type of unwarranted activities of the Dalit peoples, they are they fall prey to the various atrocities. ତାଙ୍କୁ ବହୁତ ନିର୍ଯାତନାର ଶିକାର ହେବାକୁ ପଡ଼େ। ସେମାନେ ବିଭିନ୍ନ they very accessible to the various diseases due to unhygienic condition, to work in unhygienic condition. So they fall prey to the diseases. So according, as you know, the prevention of atrocities, as well as the manual scavengers of construction of dry latrine, these are all penal sections. These are all penal sections. Who has violated the Dalit rights? They will be punished, they will be prosecuted, and accordingly they will be punished. If the guilt of the person is proved. So in common life also, they take much pain, they are humiliated. The caste, taking the name of the caste, they are humiliated. You must have seen these scenarios in the rural area. Their status, social status, has been looked down. No importance of the people in the village. No importance of the people in the public places. In the pond, in the communal pond, in rural villages there are so many ponds. In urban area also the ponds were dug by the persons of the public in order to facilitate them to take their bath and to have the drinking water. In public, in pond also, or in the public water tank also, they were not allowed to take bath in which the other general public used to take bath. If they go to the house of a general public, then they will purify, they used to purify the place from the cow dung. So it is very unbelievable and unimaginable, ugly situation which is prevailed in the society, though the ratio or the trend of looking down upon the tribal people or the SC people has been reduced to a greater extent, but still it is not wiped out in totality. So the violation of Dalits, it is punishable. It is a special act. The trials are conducted by the on the strength of the by the virtue of the special act, the special magistrate, which is called the special judge or special court, and in the district court, the sessions judge is in charge of the special judge to try the proceedings under the Prevention of SC and ST Act. So the violation of any rights of Dalits is punishable, and so many measures are being taken to facilitate them to mix or to fuse in the limelight, in the public life. माने जो माने ST लोक जो माने जंगल रहउचंती, they were given the some license, mineral license, mineral license like sand and stones, forest rights तांको दिया होची, license to take the firewoods, license to take the jungly fruits, jungle fruits, and to maintain their livelihood. Say दिया होची because to uplift them. Even as you have already discussed, Article 14, right to equality and right right to equal protection of law, irrespective of the religion, caste, creed, color, birthplace. 15, which also prohibits the untouchability. Section 17, section all fundamental rights have been given, but still special measures, special provisions are being made out by the government or the authorities to advance the social, the SC/ST people in the mainstream of the public life. So there are so many commissions have been made. National Commission on Scheduled Caste, in which the chairperson will be chairman of the chairperson, a person who will head is called the chairman of the commission, chairman of the, and their main motto is to take care of the problems of the SC and ST people. Scheduled Caste Commission, Scheduled Caste Commission, Scheduled Tribe Commission to investigate the matters and monitor all matters relating to safeguard in the constitution and under other laws for the SC, and to evaluate the working of this safeguard. So state level commission ଅଛି, SC/ST commission, SC commission, ST commission, national level ଅଛି. ସେମାନେ ସବୁ problem, they will monitor the problem, they will look out the problem, they take care of the problems faced by these Dalit peoples, and accordingly we have discussed the human rights of the Dalits. Next we shall discuss the rights of the Next we shall discuss the minority, the unit 8, that is the rights of the minorities. So though we all talk minority and minority, the term minority remains a very, minority means in general as defined by the Permanent Court of International Justice, that is, minority is a group of persons. Minority is a group of persons living in a given country or locality, having a race, religion, language, and traditions of their own and united by the tradition. So they have, minority means a section of people living in a country or area, having a race, religion, having a language for which they are united. They are united by the religion, they are united by their race and language, they are united by their culture. So these are called minorities. So in democratical country, who are the owners of the country? The owners of the country are the people, we the people of India. So the majoritarian view should not dominate the persons having a small numbers. Majoritarians normally, in which the majority, the peoples belong to the same caste, same religion, they are in majority, they will naturally dominate of other classes. So to protect their human rights, to prevent the atrocities against them, special provisions has been given to the minorities. So as you know that fundamental rights has been enshrined from Article 14 to 32. So in this, to safeguard the fundamental rights, there is no necessity, but there is no necessity to enact a special act against, in favor of the minority. If we study or if we go into the details of the fundamental rights prescribed in our constitution, we need not go to adopt a special provision for the minorities, but our leaders or the persons who were employed or those who are the framers of the constitution, their intention is that no majoritarian view will dominate the persons, those having a minority. So in India, the Muslim sections are considered to be minority. The Persians, Jews, they are called minorities. The Christians are also the minority. And in Jammu and Kashmir, the Hindus people were reduced to number and they are also called there as the minority. In Pakistan, the Hindus are the minorities, the Christians are the minority. So these are the minorities. So one of the main intention of the legislature is to preventing the cultural diversity. You know, our country is the champion of the unity and diversity. So we must respect the diversity. We must coordinate the diversity. The people of other religions, the people of the persons who are having a minority strata, we must respect them. We must respect their autonomy. We must protect their culture. So unity and diversity means that we must respect the diversity of the other persons. We should not stick to our own culture. At the same time, we must respect to the culture. We must respect to the traditions. We must respect the rights of the other people. We must respect to propagate their own religion. We must respect to do their own cultural and religious works. So that is the unity and diversity. So you know, there are also the personal laws. Personal law means Hindu law, Muslim law, Mohammedan law, Christian law. So these are the personal laws. Personal laws ने सबको special rights दिया है to maintain their heritage, to maintain their cultural activities, to maintain their caste, to maintain their custom, traditions. Now, Hindu law or Hindu Marriage Act is separate and it is only applicable to Hindus. In Mohammedan marriage, it is not applicable to them. In Mohammedan marriage, their custom and tradition of the marriage is separate. It is quite distinct from the Hindu marriage. In Hindu marriage, the one wife and one husband concept is there. A husband during his lifetime, a husband cannot marry a second woman during the lifetime of the first wife. During the lifetime of the first wife or during the subsistence of the married wife, he cannot undergo any other marriage. But at the same time, a Muslim person or Muslim male is entitled to marry 3 wives. In Hindu law, whereas the divorce is a very critical system. In Mohammedan law, the divorce is very liberal. In Hindu Marriage Act, a girl below the age of 18 years and a boy below the age of 20 years, they cannot marry. There is a provision of restriction of minority to marry. But in Hindu law, in Mohammedan law, there is no minority. Only there is provision of age of puberty. When a person attains the age of puberty, she is entitled to get marriage. So, as you have already discussed, the section 25, section 14, 18 and 232, up to section 32, equal protection, equality before law, equal protection of law, irrespective of the caste, religion, color, birthplace, and other things. 15, it eradicates the untouchability. Then and all other rights, like 25, enforcement of the rights of cultural and educational rights, that everyone is to propagate or adopt his own religion. Everyone is to protect his own religious institutions. There is no any legal bar or constitutional bar. So these are the special provisions have been given to the minority in order to protect their religion, to protect their culture, to protect their heritage, and all other things. And next we shall discuss about the constitutional instruments for the protection of minority. Thus, the Government of India established minority commissions in 1978, consisting of chairman and 2 other members. Minority commission hochi national commission, chairperson, vice chairperson, and 5 members are the members of the commission. In the state level also there is a chairperson, 5 members are the members of the commission. They will take care and they will protect the rights of the minorities. Thereafter we shall discuss about the rights of the Dalits. The right of the disabled. You know, disability is those who are now, they are called the physically and mentally challenged persons. So disability, one may be a congenital, a disabled person, it may be a disease, may be a old person, may be the aged persons, may be a diseased persons. So disability may be a congenital, or it is a disease from the time of the birth. So many congenital diseases. So you have seen the polio. Most of the children suffer from polio from their birth, and old age disability. So they are very vulnerable people. Vulnerable means they do not carry out their activities on their own capacity. They do not carry their daily works, or they do not carry their activities of his own. He always depends upon others to facilitate them in the social work or personal work. So the illness, the accident also cause disability. Sometimes we face some accidents, as a result of which we receive the trauma, or the limbs is broken off, or we suffer from pain and distress of our limbs, as well as sometimes the amputation of the limbs is carried out or is done. Amputation means the separation of the limbs from the human being. So due to these reasons, the persons become disabled persons, or they are now called physically and mentally challenged persons. So disability is defined as a condition grounded in physiological, biological, and intellectual impairment of the individual. Intellectual impairment means the persons who is mentally challenged. His cognitive faculty will not work out. His sense of thinking or sense of considering rationally or not able to think wrong and right. They are called mentally challenged persons, and their mental faculty is not sound. Which mental faculty is not sound? So they are also entitled for human rights. A disabled person who is not able to depend upon him without the help of others, they are also entitled for human rights. They must be given the equal opportunities with the persons, with other persons in the society. They should be given the equal privilege, equal rights with others. So 2001 census of our country, this suggests the disability in including war. So sometimes the warriors or the soldiers become disabled due to the war, due to the congenital diseases. So it demands additional expenditure on medical treatment. These are members the medical, if a soldiers suffers from suffering, if a soldier suffers from any amputation, if he suffers from any member of the body or the limb of the body, so additional medical expenses or requirements are necessary. So in order to meet these such type of expenses, such type of necessity and such type of emergency, the government has given many accommodation access, many funding in the budget system are being made. So for the first time, a right or the legislation has come into force, that is in 1981, that is in 1995, that is the Act Persons with Disabilities, Equal Opportunities and Protection of Rights and Full Participation Act 1955. It prohibits discrimination on the basis of disability on the matters of public appointment and access to the public facilities. So this act, please note down, this act is called Persons with Disabilities, Equal Opportunities, Protection of Rights and Full Participation Act 1995. It prohibits discrimination on the basis of disability in matters of public appointment in access to the public facilities. So in access to the public facilities means the facilities should be made in the public places, like the platform, like the aerodrome, like the bus stop. In various public places, they should be facilitated to ride on the transportation, like in the railway system or transportation system. A ramp should have been made to facilitate their wheelchair. ତାଙ୍କର wheelchair ଯେମିତି ଯାଇପାରିବ ମାନେ to the destination point, train ଯୋଉରେ ବସିବା ପରେ ଯେମିତି ସେମାନେ ସୁବିଧାରେ ଯାଇପାରିବେ, that facilities must be provisioned, must be facilitated, must be given, must be constructed. ଏବଂ ରେଲୱେ ପ୍ଲାଟଫର୍ମରେ, ଏରୋଡ୍ରମରେ ଯେମିତି ସେମାନେ टॉयलेट को जाई परिबे तांकर से व्हील व्हील बाउंड चेयर रे ସେମାନେ ଥାନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କର व्हील चेयर ଯେମିତି ସେ ପାଖକୁ ଯାଇ ପାରିବ ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ with very ମାନେ convenience they will perform their daily routine works से प्रकार सुविधा निश्चय करिवे এবং এই রাইটস দ্বারা the persons with आजिकली विभिन्न डिसेबल्ड लोक मानकु फिजिकली एंड मेंटली चैलेंज लोक मानकु सरकार माने फ्री रे किंबा बहुत कम रेट रे रेलवे रे फ्लाइट रे तांकु माने टिकट मिलुची एवं तांकु टिकट देवा पई कम रेट रे समस्त बाध्य so there is also a provision of mental health act मेंटल हेल्थ एक्ट रे जो माने कि साइकोलॉजिकली फिजिकली चैलेंज्ड पर्सन्स जो माने माने रास्ता कड़ रे बुलुछंती दे मेंटली इंटेलेक्चुअली इंपेयर्ड पीपल तांकर से इंटेलेक्चुअल फैकल्टीटा सेटा काम करू न थाए इंटेलेक्चुअली इंपेयर्ड पीपल और मेंटली चैलेंज्ड पर्सन्स तांको समाने भी मध्य समाने वंचित दे शुड नॉट बी डिप्राइव्ड ऑफ द ह्यूमन राइट्स आमे जो लोक माने बुलुछंती माने रास्ता कड़ रे तांकर भी दे हैव आल्सो द ह्यूमन राइट्स they should not let go randomly they should have given the opportunities that is the Bharati human mental health act को मसिया आसीला देखुजी Oh, whatever do we, there is a mental health act for disabled person, a mental health act for the mentally challenged persons, a public mental asylum are established, and they should not treat आगु लोक मान को मेंटली चैलेंज पर्सन लोक मान को इलेक्ट्रिक शॉक जेने के बहुत वेरी पेनफुल थिला इलेक्ट्रिक शॉक द्वारा तांको ट्रीटमेंट करा जाउतला एवं वर्तमान सेटा गवर्नमेंट ताको सेमती क्रुएल ट्रीटमेंट करबा पई मना कला दैट इज द सो फार एज द मेंटल हेल्थ एक्ट इज कंसर्न so they must be rehabilitated, they must be protected, they must be allowed to remain in the mental asylum with a very hygienic condition. And with this we have concluded the chapter 2 relating to the women, children, Dalits, minorities, and physically disabled person. So next we shall switch over the enforcement of human rights. Enforcement of human rights. How the human rights are enforced by our apex court like Supreme Courts, High Courts, and other courts. And the Constitution has already given the fundamental rights that is very protective in nature and which ensures the fundamental rights. In Article 32 of the Constitution, that is the various writs issued by our Constitution, that is the habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, These are the writs or the filing of the public interest litigation. You know, there is a very innovative provisions filed by the persons, those who are poor, those who are neglected, whose human rights are violated, and he may file a public interest litigation for his own problem or for the problem of the general public at large. Whether he is sufferer or may not be a sufferer, but he can file a public interest litigation to eradicate the atrocities, humanities, and the human rights. So, the filing of the public interest litigation is a very simple way. A person, by dropping a letter also addressing to the Chief Justice of Supreme Court or addressing to the Chief Justice of High Court, those who are protector of the human rights, empowered by our constitution, they can file a public interest litigation. But he should have the legal right, or he should have a legal person to file the same, or he should have the legal problem to resolve the same. So these are the system of public interest litigation. The public interest litigation came to light by virtue of a decision given by the Supreme Court of India, that is in SP Gupta versus Union of India. The provision of public interest litigation has come to light by a very unique decision or landmark decision by the Supreme Court, that is the very important decision, that is SP Gupta versus Union of India, AIR 1982, para 17, 39th Amendment Act. So public interest litigation has come to light by this, on the basis of this landmark decision, that is SP Gupta versus Union of India, AIR 1982. AIR 1982 देखिबो जोटे एई SP Gupta decision टा लिखा है किए public interest litigation file करि परिबो, who is entitled to file the public interest litigation, what are the rights given to the persons or public to avail the opportunities out of the public interest litigation. माने गोटे चिट्ठी रे भी माने public interest litigation फाइल करि पाइबे. माने फॉर एग्जांपल माने बहुत गुडे वाटर बॉडीज तुमर शहर रे अछि जोटा कि बहुत पोल्यूटेड अवस्था रे अछि, अनहाइजीनिक कंडीशन रे अछि, एवं जो लोक माने सेठी माने दे आर टेकिंग बाथ, दे आर succumb to many injuries, many diseases. They are accessible to diseases. In that situation also, you can file a public interest litigation to save and protect the public tanks at a large. Because it is, if the water bodies or public tanks are neglected, it is also the violation of human rights. Not only the violation of the human rights, but it also the violation of the natural rights. कारण वाटर बॉडीज किंबा टैंक रे खाली मनुष्य व्यवहार करे नहीं, से परिवेश भी ता ऊपर निर्भर करुछि. The natural environment also depends upon the water bodies and water tanks in our society. So we will discuss So, as you have already discussed, the fundamental rights, which is given in Article 32 of the Constitution by various writs forms, that is habeas corpus. The first is habeas corpus. Habeas corpus means to have the body. To have the body. To have the body means the person who is legally detained or these persons who is illegally arrested, and the arrest violates the fundamental rights and without any reasonable cause, then the arresting authority will be directed to produce this person before the court. And the court will look into the matter of illegal detention or illegal arrest. So, mandamus habeas corpus means mandamus means to mandamus means to command. Mandamus means to command. If the human rights or the fundamental rights are violated, the Supreme Court or the High Court, as given in as the Supreme Court is empowered under Article 32 of the Constitution or under 226 of the Constitution. The High Courts are also equally powerful to exercise or to ensure the fundamental rights and human rights. That is by writs of habeas corpus. Mandamus means to command any authority, to command any government, to command any persons, those who are dealt with the public issues, ତାଙ୍କୁ command କରିପାରିବ Supreme Court ଯେ don't do this work or do not do this work, and if you do, then the compensation will be made. If you do not do, then you will be ordered or you will be given direction to give the compensations or they will be punished. So the government of India or the state government or any authority, it is made by law, not by human being. The government of India is not the association of human beings, but it is a law made government. It is not persons made government. It should not be person centric, rather it should be legal centric, law centric. So we have already discussed the public interest litigation. Public interest litigation re the main decision hala SP Gupta versus Union of India, ଯେଉଁଟା କି the innovative idea of public interest litigation have been enunciated, has been opened. Thereafter, the judicial activism. So you know there are the fundamental rights as the constitutional rights. The fundamental rights and constitutional rights are not the same. All other rights except fundamental rights are the constitutional rights or the legal rights. Constitutional rights, all fundamental rights are not the constitutional rights, or all the constitutional rights are not the fundamental rights. The constitutional rights and fundamental rights are ensured by the Supreme Court and High Courts as per Article 32 and 226 of the Constitution, and the other legal rights which are protected by the other courts like the Civil Court Senior Division, Civil Court Junior Division, District Judge Court, High Court, Supreme Court. Other legal rights which are the legal rights given in our Civil Procedure Code, or in criminal procedure code. These are the legal rights. These legal rights are exercised by the general courts, and constitutional rights and fundamental rights are exercised by the Supreme Court and High Courts. বুঝা পড়ুছি তো? হ্যালো?
Oh, yes, sir.
হ্যাঁ। তারপর এই জুডিশিয়াল অ্যাক্টিভিজম বলে একটা কনসেপ্টে it was developed from the above discussion. It may be said that in India the public interest litigation has several in an engine of judicial activism. So the public interest litigation का judicial activism को बढ़े देना. So judicial activism is a very innovative provision which has been very landmark in the Indian judicial system. तो इरा बुझा पड़ला तो से रिट गुड़ा का फंडामेंटल राइट्स जो एक्सरसाइज करिबो सुप्रीम कोर्ट से रिट गुड़ा का बुझा पड़ला. So the protection of environment rights. You see, there is a SP Mehta case. SP Mehta case good idila, very remarkable case before the legislation of Environment Protection Act in 1986. Environment Protection Act for the first time came into force, and it is the outcome of the SP Mehta case versus Union of India. SP Mehta case. SP Mehta jone thile, he was an social worker, he was an advocate come social worker, and he has filed a writ petition before the Supreme Court to protect the locality or protect the local areas from the pollution of certain industries. And it was a famous and very landmark case of the Supreme Court, that in that case the Supreme Court, by the order of the apex court, all the industries in the locality were locked down. So thereafter the Union government was forced to bring a legislation, that is the Environment Protection Act. If we are living in an unhygienic condition, if we are not getting the fresh airs, if the all jungles and forest will be depleted, or the trees will be cut, then naturally there will be an adverse impact on the nature. So to live with a good life, to live with a healthy life, to live with the eco-friendly environment, it is also the human rights. So if we, for the development of modern society, for the setting up, for the advancement of the industrial development, if we deplete, or if we damage, or if we go destroying the environment, naturally the human being will face the consequence. So in 1986 there has been a really remarkable legislation, that is the Protection of Environment Act. So a persons must have get the forest license or all other license from the pollution. There has been a formation, there was formation of the pollution national state level re pollution control board ଗଠିତ ହେଲା, there was a constitution of center pollution control board, state pollution control board, and they exercise the judicial rights to protect the environment. And if anybody violates the Environment Act, and if anybody violates the any act of forest and any act relating to the nature like Water Act, Forest Act, they will be punishable. And if it causes the pollution, air pollution, sound pollution, then he may be ordered to lock down, or he may be ordered to give compensation to the general public for the cause of their unhygienic condition in the locality. So like this, a National Human Rights Commission, that is called NHRC, is formed in the central level, and the chairman who has been the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, members, a chairperson who has been a Justice of Supreme Court, a Justice of Supreme Court will be the chairperson of the for the constitution of NHRC. One member who is or has been a judge of Supreme Court, one member who has been the Chief Justice of High Court, two members to be appointed amongst the person having knowledge or for practical experience in matters relating to human rights. So these are the members of the National Human Rights Commission. Yes, human rights are also not violated nationally. In everywhere, the human rights is violated. If the person is not produced, if the arrested person or the arrestee or detainee who is not produced within the 24 hours, in the court or the competent judicial magistrate in the locality, then it is also the violation of human rights. If the police use excessive power, beyond the power of the police given to them, then it is also a violation of human rights. If the prisoners or the persons who are kept in jail, if they are not treated humanly, if they are not given proper food, if their healthcare system is not addressed, if they are not taken care of, then it is also the violation of human rights. So the National Human Rights Commission, they will take care of the violation of the human rights, not only in national level, but also in local level, in the locality or in the state level. So to ensure the human rights as well as the fundamental rights, there has been a state commission, Human Rights Commission. You know, these commissions are found in Odisha in Bhubaneswar. The Human Rights Commission, the Women Commission, the Commission for Children, the Commission of Minorities, all commissions are formed as per the regulations and as per the provisions of the constitutions. So these are the Human Rights Commission, National Human Rights Commission, State Human Rights Commission, here to look into the matter that the public should not be deprived of their rights. The public should not be deprived of the human rights. No authority, no government is above the law. The government also cannot deprive the persons from their human rights. The human rights, the deprivation of the human rights may be a single person or may be a public in general. A single person's human rights should not be ignored. That in spite of all the legislations and all the provisions enshrined in our constitution, and in spite of the special provisions by the government of India, still we are not able to address all the human problems. you are not able to approach all the human rights problem. You must have seen, or you are normally we see that the persons having mentally challenged persons, they are roaming around the streets. They are not getting food. They are not being taken care of. And it is also the violation of the human rights. Those so many provisions, so many landmarks, decisions, so many landmarks, institutions have been made to protect. The judicial are also concerned to protect the human rights. The mentally challenged persons, he is entitled to he entitled to be given the free treatment. They are entitled to be protected in a home, observation home. They will be treated humanly. They should not be allowed to roam freely because they are not controlled of their own. They do not know what they do. It is the duty of the society, it is the duty of the constitution, it is the duty of the general public to ensure their rights, human rights. So day by day, the public awareness are very strong. Some of us, they are working for the protection and for the ensuring of their rights. So many institutions are being formed by the voluntary organizations, governmental agencies, non-governmental agencies, publics. So many mental asylum, or the mental hospitals are being set up by the government of India or the state governments to ensure their rights. The judiciary is also entrusted to ensure the rights of the mentally challenged persons, physically challenged persons. There has been a tribunal for the state level tribunal for the physically challenged persons, the disabled persons, the physically and mentally challenged persons, those who have not given their rights, those who are humiliated by the others people, and they are entitled to the provisions of the promotion reservation. Some of the posts in the government level are reserved for them. Some of the educational institutions, including the technical, mechanical, engineering and medical colleges, the reservations are being made to them to uplift their plight, to bring them to the mainstream of the society. The idea not to let them be humiliated by the others. They should not feel any inferior complexion. They should get every equal opportunity like other persons. These are the main motto of the human rights violation of the disabled persons, mentally and physically challenged persons, and the enforcement of human rights will be taken care of by virtue or on the strength of the writs as given in Article 32, that is habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, and by virtue of Article 226 of the Constitution. The Supreme Court of India, established by the provisions of the Constitution. The Constitution is the mother of all laws. It is the supreme law. Any law which is violative and in contravention of the provisions of the Constitution, that act will be declared as null and void by the Supreme Court. Any provisions, any procedures, any measures carried out by the government, if it is violation of the fundamental rights, if it is the contravention of the fundamental rights, if it is the contravention of the directive principles of state policy, if it is contravention of the democratic values, if it is prohibition of the rule of law. So, to ensure all the constitutional rights, to ensure the fundamental rights and the human rights, the states, as also to ensure the constitutional rights, the Supreme Courts and the High Courts are empowered to ensure the human rights, to ensure the fundamental rights, to ensure the natural rights. So, unless we are aware of these rights, if we, these educated, the enlightened mass, they are not aware of these rights, and it will not be, and the sensible persons will not take care of these rights, then the nation will not prosper accordingly. खाली राइट्स खाली एक्ट तैयारी कर देले बहुत एक्ट तैयारी कर देले सेटा खाली पॉसिबल नुह देखाई जी जे स्कैवेंजर्स जो एक्ट अछि 1991 जो एक्ट पास हला टू प्रिवेंशन ऑफ द atrocities on the SC/ST people, that is the manuals scavengers and construction of dry latrine act जोटा 1993 रे पास हला आज पर्यंत माने 1% लोक भी प्रोसिक्यूट हो हे नांते ई एक्ट अनुसार. So only having a legislation is not enough, but the implementation of the legislation is very needful job. Implementation of the legislation is very important than the making out of the legislation. Before legislation, awareness, there must be the awareness, there must be the campaigning to ensure the human rights and to ensure the fundamental rights. We very insensitive to these rights. We are not aware of the rights of the children. We are not aware of the rights of the human. We are not aware of the rights of that is, as well as we are not aware of the rights of the public utility, public persons, the population of the general public. If we become insensitive, if we become do not aware of the rights, and if we are only concerned of our own right only, to exercise our own right, and we will lose sight of these others' rights, then the nation will not prosper. There will be chaos, and the fundamental rights, the human rights, the constitutional rights, other legal rights will not be established accordingly. So, any questions relating to this chapter, you may put me any question.
हेलो
हाँ
सर जो नेशनल ह्यूमन राइट कमिशन अछि तार एक्चुअली मेन फंक्शन कोन तार मेन फंक्शन तार सेमती कोन से तो केते एक्ट अछि तो तार मेन
नहीं,
फंक्शन
फंक्शन तार कोनसी लीगल प्रोविजन पनिशमेंट दबार के कोनसी टा करिबार कोनसी तार he has got no teeth, legal teeth to deal with the matter, to punish the persons, but it is a commission who will look into the matter of the human rights, violation of human rights, and it will give report to the parliament. The report made by the commission will be tabled on the floor of the parliament or on the floor of the assembly. Human Rights Commission, National Human Rights Commission, and it will be, and the implementation and the measures will be made out by the parliament to ensure the human rights. So it will look into the matters, it will look into the problems of the human rights, it will take care of the violation of the human rights, that no person, no groups, no public at a large should suffer from the violation of should suffer from the human rights. Human rights जेमती कहीं सफर न होबे तार से जत्नमान हेबो, he will be careful of the human rights of the people.
ओके सर स्टेट ह्यूमन राइट कमिशन और नेशनल ह्यूमन राइट कमिशन दुईटा को सेम की खाली सेटा स्टेट
स्टेट रे सेटा हबो स्टेट रे सेटा हबो जोटा कि स्टेट जदि वायलेट करूची स्टेट कोनसी आईन द्वारा कोनसी गुटे लॉ टे मन कर स्टेट भी विभिन्न प्रकार आईन तैयार करूची
Yes, sir.
स्टेट लेवल रे भी बहुत प्रकार आईन अछि
Hmm.
लोकल एक्ट्स माने तैयार करूची त्या माने लॉ मेकर्स आर दे आर फ्रेमिंग द लॉज इन द फ्लोर ऑफ असेंबली लोकल एक्ट्स माने जो स्टेट जो लेजिस्लेशन पास करूची असेंबली रे एंड व्हेन इट बिकम्स ए लॉ व्हेन इट obtains the assent of the governor or president सेटा से लेजिस्लेशन गुड़ाक सेरा कोनसी फंडामेंटल राइट्स को भायोलेट करू नथिबा कथा बा ह्यूमन राइट्स भायोलेट करू नथिबा कथा मन कर गोटे इंडस्ट्री गोटे जगह रे गवर्नमेंट सेटअप करबा पई चाहिला सेठी बहुत गुडे ट्राइबल लोक मन को डिस्प्लेस करा जिवो तांको रिहेबिलिटेट करा जिवो तांको तांकर से जगार तांकर लाइवलीहुड पाई एवं तांकर प्रॉपर्टी पाई तांको कंपेंसेशन दे यदि इफ इट वायोलेट द ह्यूमन राइट्स if the livelihood of the persons are challenged under the law the human rights are challenged under the law then the supreme court is empowered to declare the act null and void you cannot go beyond the constitution you cannot go beyond the special structure of the constitution basic structures of the constitution माने स्टेट टू हां
सर जो कंपनसेशन मिले आपण कहले सेटा को केस रे मिले जेंति एग्जांपल दियंतु माने केते बेले कंपनसेशन मिले
मन कर गोटे जगह रे गोटे इंडस्ट्री सबु नियम अनुसार हे गला जेंति कि वेदांत जानि छै नियमगिरी जो हला वेदांत रे जो इंडस्ट्री हेबा पई सरकार गोटे मेमोरेंडम साइन करि दिला जापान गवर्नमेंट ना फ्रांस गवर्नमेंट जापान गवर्नमेंट जापान कंपनी जापानीज कंपनी वेदांत कंपनी सेठी लोक माने अपोज कले ह्यूमन राइट्स भायोलेशन हला तांकर जंगल नष्ट हेबो तांकर झरणा नष्ट हेबो तांकर गछ नष्ट हेबो हां तांकर नेचुरल राइट्स नष्ट हेबो नेचर प्रकृति नष्ट हेबो एवं समाज गोटे पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट लिटिगेशन गोटे फाइल हिदिला सुप्रीम कोर्ट जे they should not be deprived of their human rights they should not be deprived of their natural rights they have got ingrained right to enjoy the property of the forest they have some limited properties they worship the natures they worship the hills their emotion is attached with the nature everything is nature for them was nature for them so पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट लिटिगेशन गोटे गोटे बहुत बढ़िया डिसीजन हेतिला सुप्रीम कोर्ट रे जे माने गोटे डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल रो जज डिस्ट्रिक्ट जज से जेकरी पल्ली सभा करिवो ग्राम सभा करिवो एवं ही विल टेक द फीडबैक्स फ्रॉम द पीपल पब्लिक फ्रॉम द विलेज रेस्पेक्टिव विलेजेस दैट whether they are deprived of their rights or not most of the gram sabhas according to the report of the district judge they are deprived of their natural rights fundamental rights human rights the central government on the by virtue of the decision of the supreme court or our apex court the Vedant industry or Vedant industry was locked down he was not able to set up his industries and the tribal people living in this locality they given the free hand to live their own life according to law okay it is an example
सर से मान को जो कंपनसेशन टा मिले से कंपनसेशन टा किए दिए माने ह्यूमन राइट कमिशन से ना से इंडस्ट्री रो जे माने
सेटा से गवर्नमेंट देबो किबा गवर्नमेंट जे ह्यूमन राइट्स वायोलेट करी छी जो कंपनी बा जो इंडस्ट्रीज बा जो अनुष्ठान ह्यूमन राइट जे वायोलेट करी छी he will realize the due compensation from the that companies or industries by legal by realize the माने जमते आइन अनुसार पेनाल्टी रियलाइज करंती सेमती से ताठो रियलाइज करिवो ताको सेटा तार प्रॉपर्टी को बिकी कर रियलाइज करू कि तार फंड रु से पैसा दो कि जे बा जे कोनसी हिसाब रे दो
सर
हाँ
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So Dr. Panigrahi is, hello, sir. Panigrahi sir Nandi. Hello. Any other questions regarding the erstwhile subjects? आगर सब्जेक्ट वाला कौन सी क्वेश्चन अच्छी डाउट आगे जो पढ़ी दिला चैप्टर 2 रे कौन सी डाउट अच्छी one of the very legal term, that is the locus standi. Locus standi means it is the very fundamental right given to a person. He has said to be his locus standi. He should have locus standi to file the complaints. Any other thing?
Sir, गोटे assignment रे question थिला critically analyze the challenge faced by the contemporary human rights movement. तो ये human rights movement माने तो कौन सब आसीबो एथिरे
Human rights सब आसीबो related to the problem human rights
movement जेतेबेले क्वेश्चन movement हे गला तो को movement आसीबो human rights related से movement गुडा को ना कहंतु तो
Sir, whatever we have discussed, the questions, the human rights issues relating to the women, human rights issues relating to the children, human rights issues relating to the Dalits, human rights issues relating to the minorities, and we are all human beings. If we are subject to the suffering of the human rights, everything will come into light. Everything will.
But critically analysis देji तो criticism तारो जेहेतु देji
The human rights जोटा fundamental rights, naturally these are the human rights, and all other every constitutional right is not human right. The fundamental rights are human rights. Suppose there is a dumping ward in a particular locality. वो डंपिंग वार्ड गवर्नमेंट जोटा म्युनिसिपालिटी कि कॉर्पोरेशन वो डंपिंग वार्ड करिछि जो जगह रे माने बहुत लोग रहउछंती रेसिडेंस सो मेनी रेसिडेंट्स आर लिविंग देयर हैविंग देयर ओन रेसिडेंशियल हाउसेस लिविंग देयर ओन प्रॉपर्टीज जदि तुमे डंपिंग वार्ड करछ सही जगह रे एवं इट रिमेन्स वेरी अनहाइजीनिक टू द पीपल देयर हैज बीन ए फाउल स्मेल एंड द लिविंग ऑफ द पीपल इज वेरी क्रिटिकल टू देम. The children are suffering and it is very unhygienic condition for them to live in that particular place. Then this thing will come into the human rights, because the state is the protector of the human rights. The state is the guarantor of the fundamental rights. No person should let go in violation of his human rights. गोटे लोक भी हो गोटे लोक भी हो बा ग्रुप ऑफ लोक हो पब्लिक भी हो जनसाधारण भी हो कौनसी भी लोक he must ensure his human rights as well as the fundamental rights. बहुत simply, it is not critical, it is very simple. मु कहले जो पब्लिक इंटर लिटिगेशन आपण माने सब जानि छथि पब्लिक इंटर लिटिगेशन ता कोन जोटा कि हु इज द माने आवर माने द देन चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया PN Bhagwati is the propounder or he is the architect of the माने innovative idea public interest litigation. गोटे लोक को किछि करबा को पड़िबो नाही. Only a letter, if a letter will be sent to the chief माने high court or supreme court addressing the chief justice of India or chief justice of the high courts, then it will be taken into consideration. So many corruption cases, so many scams, so many माने the personal irregular activities of the persons having the constitutional post come to many things have been come to the light on the strength of the public interest litigation. Public interest litigation रे बहुत इंडिया रा बहुत गुड़ाए केस रिमार्केबल केस बहुत गुड़ाए करप्शन केस बहुत गुड़ाए स्कैम्स लाइट को आसीछि एवं that is the attempt of a human being, a common human being common person, not by the political persons or not by the great persons. The NGOs, the persons those who are in social works, the persons those who are concerned of the human rights, the persons those who are concerned of the forest right or right environmental issues, they are um, giving the attention of the Supreme Court or High Courts. ସେମାନେ ଦଉଛନ୍ତି ଦୃଷ୍ଟି ଆକର୍ଷଣ ସେମାନେ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ସେଟା ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ବିରାଟ ବିରାଟ ସ୍କାମ ବିରାଟ ବିରାଟ କରପସନ ବିରାଟ ମାନେ ହ୍ୟୁମାନ ରାଇଟ୍ସ ଭାଓଲେସନ ର ପର୍ଦାଫାଶ ହେଇଛି
Yes.
ହେଲା
Yes, sir.
ପବ୍ଲିକ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ଲିଟିଗେସନ ଯେକୌଣସି ଲୋକ ଫାଇଲ କରିପାରିବ ଖାଲି ଗୋଟେ ଚିଠି ଦେଲେ ହେଲା ଏଣ୍ଡ ନାଓ ଟୁ ମାନେ ବହୁତ ଗୁଡେ ମାନେ ଯେହେତୁ ପବ୍ଲିକ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ଫାଇଲ ହେଉଛି ଏବଂ ସମ୍ ଅଫ ଦି ଭେକ୍ସ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଫ୍ରିଭୋଲସ୍ ସେତିକି ଗୋଟେ କିଛିଟା କଣ୍ଡିସନ ସେ ଆମେଣ୍ଡମେଣ୍ଟ କରିଛି ଯୋଉ ଯେ ପବ୍ଲିକ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ଲିଟିଗେସନ ଦେବ ତାର ଗୁଡାକ ଡାଟା ଗୁଡାକ ସେ ପ୍ରସ୍ତୁତ କରିକି ଦେବ
Yes.
if it is not based on data or if it is not based on legal rights, then the filer or the complainant will be imposed penalty. Certain penalty will be imposed on them. Okay,
Yes, sir.
you got the point.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, shall we conclude today?
Okay, sir.
Hello. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, thank you for joining and listening attentively with very decency and patience.